Yo, what's good, y'all? This Rodriguez. I'm excited today. My boy Kev right here in the seat, as long as some other people on Instagram, inspired me to make some tutorial videos on YouTube. I call them a how-to just because I'm going to show you how I actually fade. And I'm going to give y'all some tips when it comes to attacking this fade. So getting right into it, we're going to be doing a drop fade. He doesn't like his hooks, so I'm starting my guideline just below the temple. I'll say around a ½ inch under, because when I do the lever open, I want the lever open to be aligned with the temple. This is gonna allow the vertical bars, when you line it up, to be naturally dark, and it's also gonna be more of a mid to a high fade rather than a really high fade, because if I start it up a ½ inch more, just imagine how high that would be. And before I begin to fade, I'm gonna grab my clipper over comb and set my foundation for the cut, removing all the excess bulk that is hanging over. This is gonna be with the lever open rather than it closed, just so it creates more of a feathered look. And when I jump into the lever open, I'm making it a ½ inch thick, a little bit more thicker towards the back, and just making sure that I am aligning it with that vertical bar that I was talking to you about earlier. Same thing with the one open, about a ½ inch and a little bit thicker in the back. This is going to be important right here to flick out as much as possible, especially since he does have bulk on the sides. It's going to make it a lot easier and less of a hard guideline. It's going to set me up for my next step, which is going to be clipper over comb as well. When I grab my comb, I'm gonna scoop under, and I'm gonna put it at the base of the teeth as I'm showing right here, and anything that is sticking out right there at a 45-degree angle, I'm gonna make sure I knock off. It actually helps a lot, and it blends mostly into the bulk to where all I had to do next is come with my 1.5 and basically lever play and just make sure it flows into the bulk a little bit more smoothly. Then from here, I'm gonna just begin the down fade, knocking out lines going downwards. So after I finish up the 1.5, I'm gonna go to the 0, and right here is really just lever play. I have it all the way open, I have it 75% open, 50% open, I even do close. So really just looking at the fade and detailing it and understanding the shades of it. Essentially, you're trying to get the fade to look the same shade, so sometimes you might need to cut more in some areas and cut less in other areas as well. So as long as the whole fade is matching itself, then you are doing great. And it doesn't have to be perfectly blended with that 0 guard yet, because we still do have to knock out the bottom guideline with the lever open, and this is also going to push the fade up and allow you to detail a lot more. When I see people struggling getting the bottom guideline out, I always feel like it's just because they're afraid to go up. So when I remove my guideline, I start with it all the way closed, and I basically bump it up in like 1/4 inch increments. But one thing is, I'm not scared to go up, because I know if I do go a little bit high in one area, I'm always just use my corners and make sure it does blend into the rest of the areas. And that's what I'm doing right here. I have my lever open, and you can see I'm just attacking any dark spot and trying to make that a little bit lighter. It's very vital to just use the corners only, because you don't want to set another guideline, or you don't want to create too much of a bald area. But as you can see, it's just really all about detail. It's that lever open could go really high, and the more you tilt it at an angle, or the more sideways you put it and the more corners that you use, the more higher areas you'll be able to get into. After a while, I'm gonna switch to my detail clipper. Once I feel like I'm not getting the results I want with my other clipper, I'm gonna switch it, and my choice would definitely be the Masters. So the same thing right here, I'm just lever playing and I'm really only using the corners, and I'm just making sure I'm trying to detail as much as possible before I do move to the other side. And then of course, lining up that vertical bar where I was talking about, it'll be naturally dark. So moving on to the next part of the fade, I'm gonna do the exact same steps. The lever open, the one guard open, clip over comb, and then I'm gonna begin to drop down, debulk with the 1.5, knock the 0 guideline out, and then hit the bottom guideline before I do move on to the back of the head and connect the fade all together. I do want to thank the people that had reached out to me and requested for me to do a how-to video on really just how I cut hair. Thanks to my boy right here too, he definitely motivated me to do so. But I do want to ask for you guys to leave me a comment down below and really just give any open criticism or open feedback on how this video was. If there was anything that you guys want me to go into further detail with, or just incorporate. I know there was some camera issues that I had a little bit earlier with it being not so focused. So there's little things that I'm remembering that I gotta pay a lot more attention to. But if there is something tutorial wise that you do feel like you want me to elaborate more or incorporate, definitely let me know down below, and I'll make sure to incorporate that into any future videos. It's about to be 6 months into the year 2021. I know we all came in very motivated, very inspired, and we all have just a great vision to execute this year. Doing videos, YouTube, bi-weekly was a goal of mine, and we're on the right track. So I just want to check in with y'all and make sure that you are completing your goals and making sure we're staying in line for the year. And to attack this lineup, we're just going to make sure everything is combed down and basically retrace it multiple times to where it is the same lineup whenever he does go home, take a shower. As he wanted to do a design, I'm going to keep it on my phone and make sure that I'm keep looking at the actual design and at his head as well, just to make sure that both things are symmetrical and that I'm giving him the same design that he wanted. So after the design, we are done with the cut. Appreciate y'all for watching. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about the haircut, and if you did pick up any type of game or any type of technique or tips that you are going to apply to your haircuts. Once again, thanks to my boy Kev right here for really pushing me to do this video and being my model, as well as some other people that have requested me on YouTube and Instagram. I appreciate y'all. Y'all take care. Thanks for watching.